So hello everyone. Today we are here to learn about AWS CloudWatch and AWS CloudTrail. So this is our 24th episode in the AWS Primer series. So you can catch up with the previous episodes on the Test Chat YouTube channel. Now I will hand it over to Jyoti for the today's session. Jyoti, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Faz. A small change. So I'll be covering just AWS CloudWatch today. So earlier plan was to cover the theory for the both and then take a hands-on session, but I did a little change. So today we'll be covering theory and a lab of CloudWatch. Okay, so I'll get started. Okay, sharing is not enabled, Faz.
Yeah, I just enabled. I forgot to enable. Just check now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So here is our agenda. Okay. So we'll be covering four things. First is we'll understand CloudWatch matrices, alarms, and event. Then we'll do a small lab on the same topic, followed by how you can leverage CloudWatch alarm for your billing purpose, right? For example, we are practicing and doing so many labs, and you want to ensure that your charge doesn't exceed certain amount. That could be like say $10, $20. So you can leverage CloudWatch alarm. And finally, we'll study about how we can stream the logs which are being generated on your EC2 instances, your application log, right? So what you do on your EC2 instances, etc., you deploy your application, and those application, they generate some log, right? So on those log, if you want to capture those log based on certain content in the log, for example, if there is some error which is coming in the logs, you want to capture it, you want to set alarm, or you want to set certain actions. Okay, so we'll study how we can do that. Now when we say cloud, so it's an AWS service which helps you to monitor your EC2 instances and other resources as well, right? And there are certain things, like for example, when we say CloudWatch matrix, okay, so what exactly we mean by matrix? It's like a variable which you want to monitor. So your variable could be your CPU usage, your disk usage, your network, and a status check, right? So you would have seen that whenever we launch a EC2 instance, you see 2x2 status check, right? Until you get 2x2, you are not able to access your instance. So what are those two checks? So one check is for your software issues, okay, and second is for your hardware issues. So I'll log into the management console and I'll show you what is exactly there in the status check, okay. And then matrices, you are observing these points, your CPU, disk, network, utilization on a variable over time. So you might have your x-axis as time, and y-axis could be values of these parameters, right? And with CloudWatch, you get two kinds of monitoring, okay. One is like free, which is like your basic monitoring, which is for every 5 minutes these matrices are published, okay. But if you want a detailed monitoring, okay, so minimum is like 1 minute. So if you want monitoring for every 1 minute, then you'll be charged for it, right? You'll see an option to enable that detailed monitoring, and it would be then start from every minute, okay. There's one more thing, like the basic matrices which you get with the CloudWatch is these only: CPU, disk, network, right? But if you want to monitor something beyond that, right, for that you'll be using a CloudWatch agent. Okay, so the last lab which we'll be doing here, there I'll tell you, okay, you will have your EC2 instance, and then we'll go ahead and install this agent on that EC2 instance, and we'll capture all those logs, okay. So with matrices, like with your default matrices, you'll get these data, but then with custom matrices, which is you created, it's not the one which is being given by AWS, it's you go ahead and you create it based upon your requirement. So on that, you can do customization. So last lab is on that only, okay, right? So let me just give you a walkthrough on the management console, okay? So for example, So these are the some instances which I had enabled. Okay, so for example, if I go to this instance here, let's first understand by status check. Okay, so see, you have got two kinds of status check: system reachability and instance reachability, and that's why you here you get 2 by 2. So this is the basic monitoring which you get from AWS, right? Second is this tab, right? So here you will get details about CPU utilization. See, you get detail about CPU utilization, status checks, which I was telling you. Then network, how much of traffic is coming in, how much of traffic is going out. Okay, and then disk utilization. So these are the four basic parameters which you are able to observe with respect to CloudWatch. Okay. Now, if you want to enable a detailed monitoring, which I was telling you, right? So here you have to go manage detailed monitoring. Oh, sorry. Okay. So when you say enable, now data would be collected every 1 minute of period, right? So I'm not going to enable this, but this was just to give you a brief how you can do it. Okay. Now, if you want to set certain alarms, okay, good, we are getting the CPU utilization, right? Now, if you want to set an alarm, okay, whenever my CPU utilization is more than 70%, what are the things you want to do? There are 2-3 approaches. One is, okay, you using you can create an alarm, and that alarm will send you a notification, right? That yes, your CPU utilization is more than 70%, and then manually you'll go log in and do the needful. Second way would be set an alarm with an action. Okay, so whenever there is a CPU utilization of more than 70%, please go ahead and terminate my instance. So the example you see on the screen, I was practicing that only. So I had created a alarm for this particular instance, that whenever my CPU utilization is less than say 40, okay, so go ahead and terminate my instance. So for this C, I'll go ahead and create another alarm. Okay, so you select before that, since we want to send ourselves a notification, so you need to create a topic, right? So for that, what we'll go, you go to SNS. Okay, so I've already created, but I'll show you, and it takes little delay for a email to show up, especially for the breach condition. So I had already see, first notification which you'll get would be test notification, wherein you have to go ahead and confirm the subscription, and the notification which is generated after a alarm is raised, it would be something like this, that you've got an alarm. This is the name which you specify. So you get alarm, name of the alarm in the region, okay, where you had created this alarm with the details, right? So what are the matrices I was monitoring? Okay, I was monitoring my CPU for this instance. What was the period? Okay, so you'll get all these details here in the email. Okay, so for this email part, you need to create a topic. Okay, simple notification service. Okay, let me say TTC demo. Next step. Okay, standard, let it be standard. This is for TTC session. Okay, create topic. Okay, once you have created topic, you need to subscribe to this topic. So when we'll come to SNS, we'll study all these things in detail. Just for now, understand that we want a mechanism to send email in case of a situation where alarm is raised. And for that, what we are using our email, and we are able to send email using SNS. Okay. Now the protocol is an email protocol, and name is okay. Now, so yeah, so I would have, see, this is saying status as pending confirmation. Why? Because I have would have received an email here. Give it a few minutes. Yeah. Okay. So confirm. Yeah. Now the subscription is confirmed. Now what I'll go ahead to my original problem, wherein I want to send an email to Jyoti whenever the CPU utilization is less than 40. Okay. Okay. This action, monitor and troubleshooting. What do you want to do? Manage CloudWatch alarm. Okay. Create an alarm, right? Okay, in case of alarm, do you want to send notification? Yes, I want to send notification. On which topic? TTC demo. Do you want to take any action when this alarm is raised? Yes. What is the action I want to take? I want to terminate it, or I want to stop this. Okay, whatever you want to do it. So let's go ahead and terminate it. Okay. And what is the parameter? Like when do you want the alarm to be raised? That you specify here. So I'll say average CPU utilization is less than 40. This is interesting, like consecutive period. So in interval of 5 minutes, if you get back to back to such alarms, right, to such condition, then you want to raise an alarm, or just the moment you get it, get the situation, you want to raise this alarm. So I'm doing 1. And do you see the period here? The minimum is 1, but this is not enabled for us. Why? Because we haven't opted for detailed monitoring. We've gone for basic monitoring, and for basic monitoring, the default time is 5 minutes. Okay. Alarm name, you can give it any alarm, TTC alarm. Okay. Now this is the matrix. Okay. Create. Now, if you see for this particular instance, my CPU utilization is always less than 40%, because I'm not doing anything special here, right? So this alarm should go in few minutes. See, 1 by 1. Okay, so the alarm has started. And the action what we had taken for this alarm, 1 is to send a notification, and 2nd is to terminate this. So this would start terminating in few seconds, I guess. There's one more location from where you can see the details of the alarm. That's from here. So CloudWatch. Okay. In alarms. Okay, looks like it's provisioning. EC2. Yeah, so this is in alarm. Okay. That means alarm has initiated. This was my CPU utilization less than 40 for 1 data point within 5 minutes. Okay. If you would have said 2 data points, that means for 2 instances, if we had seen situation like this. Okay. Now this alarm, and you can see what is happening. You can see the history of this alarm. Okay. Configured, you configured. Then it went from insufficient data to in alarm. Then action. Okay. What was the action? To terminate the instance. Now let me go ahead and see if my instance is terminated or not. Yeah, you see that the instance has terminated. Let me see if I have received notification or what. This takes little time. Okay. When this notification would show up here, I'll demo that as well. Okay. So before I move to the next part, which is how we can capture the logs of EC2 instance, using CloudWatch log and CloudWatch agent. Okay, any question before that?
No, Jyoti, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay. And there's one more thing, like in my sessions, what I do, I tell the steps to set up things, but I forget to tell you guys to clean up. So make sure, if I like any lab you do, whether you are going to be charged or not, ensure you clean up those things, right? So you can go ahead and delete whatever you create. Okay, else you'll be getting unnecessarily bills, right? So yeah, on coming on to the bill, for example, if you want to set alarm for the bills as well, okay, there has to be something for billing. There has to be something for billing. Okay, give me a second, let me figure it out. Let me see if this shows up here. Select matrices. Okay, I'm not able to find that option. We used to have one option on the left panel named as billing. So for billing also, like the way we have said for CPU utilization less than 40, similarly, you could have set alarm for certain bill in your account. I'm not getting that option. If I'll see that option somewhere else, I'll let you know. Okay. So the next demo which we are going to do is, now we leverage our CloudWatch for monitoring CPU, network, and disk. Okay. Now you can also create a billing alarm to, yes, thank you, Faz. Let me see, where is that option? Navigate to bill preference. Billing preference. Receive billing alert. Okay, yeah, so this is how you can do it from here also to create. If necessary, change the region to. Okay. Yeah, Faz, now I remember. This is supported only for North Virginia. That's why I was not able to see. So I was doing the lab
Okay.
in Mumbai region, but it is not supported for Mumbai. So let me go to North Virginia. And in North Virginia, alarms. Now you see this option of billing. So it is region specific. So it is just available in North Virginia. Now you can go ahead and you can create those alarms which you want. Okay. Usage. Okay. And then by AWS resources. So see, it's simple to follow. You can go ahead and create alarm for the billing as well. Okay. Now let's move to our next topic, which was, see, we've covered this, like we saw how does matrices look like, what are alarms, events. Okay. Event is also, Okay, so remember, right now what I did, I triggered an alarm, and also I went ahead and terminated my instance. Okay, that was based on a certain value of CPU, right? Rules, I mean, event is kind of when you say, like, for example, certain event happens, or maybe when you start your EC2 instance. Okay, so if you start your EC2 instance, you want to send a notification. Okay, so in case of event, if you want to perform certain action, that time you can leverage CloudWatch events, right? So let me go ahead, and this has been renamed to event bridge. Okay, so you can create a rule. Okay, what could be the rule? Give any name. My rule. Okay, rule with event pattern. Okay, event bus, default, anything like that. Next, event sent from AWS service. Okay, let me see certain. See EC2 instance. Do you see your EC2 instance? Okay. So see, these are the events for which you can perform certain action. So with alarm, you were able to perform any action based on the values of CPU network. But with the event, what you can do in case of certain events, right? This could be your event, maybe your somebody created a snapshot, or your EC2 instance was launched, okay, or your EC2 instance was terminated. For example, you were using a combination of a load balancer and auto scaling. Maybe now you're not able to auto scale your EC2 instance, right? Or you would have um, set up some maybe what can I say? Um, Health check is failing. Your health check for a load balancer is failing, or your health check for EC2 instances failing consecutively, right? So for that case, what do you want? You want to perform certain action, right? So for that, you can leverage your events. Okay. So they have given sample events as well, right? See from the name, okay, your certificate had expired, right? These are the things which you cannot remember. For example, EC2 instance launch success. Let's go ahead with this event, right? So let's go ahead with this event. What's wrong? Event pattern.
You need to copy from above, maybe.
Yeah.
That,
Okay. Thank you. First, let me see. Okay. Custom event pattern cannot be empty. So what is my custom? No. Sorry about this. Okay. Anything but matching. Let me just see if this, and let me test the pattern. Okay. I think this should. Okay, I need to change all of these things, all these values. Okay, so this needs to be, probably I'll take this up. I'm not that prepared for events. Console has totally changed. Okay, so
yeah.
probably I'll take this event portion next time. Before, let me just give one last try. If this works, create event, TTC. Okay. Instance launch is successful. Okay. Next.
Sorry to interrupt. This is for terminate, and we may still need
Okay.
to have the correct values input.
Yeah. I'll give it a try for another 5 minutes. If this doesn't work, then I'll park this for the next time.
Yeah, no issues. Miss, they keep like they keep changing the things, so it's yeah.
Okay, copy. Achha, okay, this is every minute. Let me do it every minute. Okay, next. AWS select a target type. Yeah, okay. I'll probably take this next time. Not able to recall.
Yeah,
Okay.
no issues.
Okay, so this is something we'll take it next time. Yeah, coming to our final topic, which is stream EC2 log to CloudWatch. Okay, so we'll study how can we create alarms based on certain values in our logs. Okay, so for that, first thing, these are the step one needs to perform. So first, see, your EC2 instance is one service and your CloudWatch is another service. So if the two service, if they want to communicate with each other, what we need to have? We need to have a role. So for first, what we'll go ahead and do, we'll create a policy, and using that policy we'll create a role and attach that role to our EC2 instance. Okay, and what would be there in that role? Using that role, EC2 instance would be able to communicate with our CloudWatch. Okay, then what we'll do, we'll SSH on our EC2 instance, we'll install our CloudWatch agent. Okay, and after installing we need to do certain configuration. There are two configuration which we need to do. Is first, in this file we need to specify the region. Okay, where we want to have this capability. And second is in AWS logs.config file, we need to specify the name of our CloudWatch log group, region, and the file which we need to see in the EC2 instance, for which we need to capture the logs. Okay, so right, when you deploy your application, you would you know that there is this location var log, and then all your log files get created there, right? So in AWS log config, we'll specify the location of those files, right? And then we'll start the service. Okay, and after starting the service, we'll manually go ahead and create a log file named as application.log, and then we'll set an alarm for a specific value in the application.log file. Okay, so let's get started with the policy. Okay. So I am So I had already created a policy, so I'll just copy paste the same. Yeah. So see what I'm saying, that allow EC2 instance to create log group, create log stream, put log events, describe log stream. Okay. And what is the resource? This is the ARN, which is like your resource number, right? So I'll copy this, go to policies. So this is my first step. First, I'll go ahead and create a policy. JSON. Okay. Next. no tag, CW policy. Okay, create policy. And then I'll go to rules, create a rule. I'm creating this rule for AWS service and for EC2. Okay, next. And what is the name of my service? Policy, CW policy. Next, my CW role. Okay, create role. Yeah. Now I'll go to my EC2 instance. First step is done, which was creating a policy and attaching that policy to a role. Now we'll go ahead and attach this role to my EC2 instance, because EC2 instance is going to talk to my CloudWatch service. Okay, so I'll go ahead and launch an instance. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and associate my role. So my role was my CW role. Add storage, add tags, security group, let it be this. So as we are proceeding in our session, we are able to understand all these values, right? Now we know what exactly we mean by status check. Now we understand, okay, how these alarms are created, availability zone. So now there are few more things left. I think eventually we'll cover those as well, like elastic IP, etc. Okay, let it come up. I might have to share entire screen of mine. So it's still initializing. Meanwhile, let me see if I've received the email or not. No, not yet. Why is it taking so much of time? Okay. Okay, meanwhile, it's setting up. So I can tell you about one more instance state. See, till now we would have seen stop, start, reboot, and terminate. There's one more you can see, which is hibernate. So recently I got to know about this. So what happens in hibernate state? See, when you stop, what happens? Whatever data is there in your RAM, okay, that gets deleted, right? When you terminate, everything gets deleted. right? Same with the reboot. With Hibernate, what happens is your state is logged. For example, you would have done something in and if there is some data in the RAM, so that doesn't get lost. So it's kind of, you are taking a snapshot of your current instance, right? And when you restart or you start your service after Hibernate mode, your same snapshot is available for you. Okay. Or second use case which I learned about Hibernate is, for example, right now also you see it's taking so much of time to initialize. With Hibernate, what happens is everything is already there in your RAM, so the start time for your application reduces, so you don't have to wait very long for your system to come up. So I was practicing some questions, so I saw this Hibernate state. Yeah, now this is up. Okay, so now what we have to do is we need to copy the public IP address. Okay, SSH my. So first thing what we need to do is we need to install my CloudWatch agent. Okay, so why do we have to install CloudWatch agent is because we want to create our custom matrices, right? Till now we were leveraging the basic matrices, which was just capturing CPU, disk, network, etc. Now we want to capture specific value in my log file. For that value, I want to raise an alarm. So that value could be error. When your application starts throwing certain error. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do yum install AWS logs. Okay, I think it's log. What happened? Oh, spelling is incorrect. Okay, so I have installed my agent. If I see the current state of, it's inactive. Okay, so I'll do all the setting and then I'll enable it. Okay, so the next setting which I had to do is AWS log, AWS CLI. Oh, it's not showing up. Oh, VI. Looks like today is not that good day for me. Okay.
No issues.
Okay, region, it's US East 1. Let me see in which region I have done all these things. It's in Mumbai. Okay, so for Mumbai, it's app South 1. Okay. So this is simple. We are just specifying the region. Okay, this is done. Now our main file. AWS logs. AWS log. Okay, let me first delete all this. So to delete, the command would be gg5d. No, escape. D5. No, this is not the command. What was the command? To bulk delete GG and then DG. Okay. DG and D. So to bulk delete, what is it that you need to do is press double G in lowercase, and then small d and capital G. So using this, you can bulk delete. Okay. Now after bulk delete, what exactly I need to do is I need to add certain things, right? Before deleting, if you would have come to the bottom, you would have similar thing, right? Something like this. This, let me just copy and show it to you. Yeah. Right. So this, you can specify anything. Main is your region. This name can be your name. So let me just say TTC logs. Okay. So you're just creating a group. Okay. Then for which file I need to capture, this is the file, right? Now, again, this could be based on your organization, where exactly you keep your logs, right? So we are going to create this file manually and we'll add certain text to it, okay? What is it that we are logging? We are going to log the, so you'll have a log group, consider it as a file, folder. The name of the folder would be this TTC_logs. Under the folder, there would be file, and the name of the file would be with respect to instance ID, right? So if there are 10 instance ID in your application, okay, so for every instance, you'll be seeing a separate record, okay? And yeah, let me name this as TTC log only, TTC logs, okay? So I'm done with the configuration. I'll just repeat. So you'll create a policy. That policy would have access for create, log, etc. Then we'll associate that policy to a role, and then finally that role gets associated to EC2 instance. Okay. And now you log into your EC2 instance. You'll download your CloudWatch agent. After downloading your CloudWatch agent, you'll make certain configuration changes. There are two files on which you need to do the configuration. One is AWS CLI, wherein you specify the region name. And then there is another file, AWS logs.config, where you specify the name of the file, okay, from where you need to capture the data, right? So that's done. I'll go ahead and start my service. Okay, before I start my service, let me show you how does now CloudWatch looks like. CloudWatch. Yeah. So what are the parts of CloudWatch? Like we studied about alarms, we studied about matrices, we studied the matrices, the default matrices which you saw on the EC2 instance. Now we are going to study about the log group. See, right now you see only these two. Okay. Moment I'll go ahead and start my service, AWS logs T third. Service sudo, okay, sudo service AWS logs T start. Okay, this is started. If you want to see the status, you can see now it's active. Okay. Now, once it has started, we should see a log group named as TTC_logs. Okay, let it take some time. Oh, no, you won't see the record. Why? Because we need to have a file named as application.log, which is not there. So I need to go ahead and create that file manually. So what I'll do sudo su first. Now cd where logs. Okay, if I do this, see there's no file named as application.log. That's why you didn't see a record here, right? So now I need to go ahead and create a file name as application.log, right? Let's enter. This is my first line of log file. Okay. Right. Let's see. Do we get anything here? Right? So what exactly we did? We are logging everything, right? But there could be a situation that yes, you are getting everything in your log file, right? But you want to raise an alarm for specific message in that log file. For example, that could be say error, right? So let me go ahead and create a matrix. Okay. Error log. Okay. The pattern which I need to see is error. So if the log has a text named as error or info or a warning, then send me a certain alarm. Okay. Okay. So if you see, this is telling you all the data which is there in your log file, right? Right now, there's no result because we didn't have any text as added. Let me go ahead and add something as the application has stopped responding. Now let me go ahead and didn't intend to go. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this time. Yeah, test pattern. Yeah, right. So you see there are 3 records. This is just for testing, but now we'll go ahead and do next. Okay, you can give it any name. My filter matrix name would be error. Okay, and yeah. Okay, if matrix value is say 5, then default 1. Okay, create matrix filter and yeah, okay. Now I'll go ahead and I also can create alarm for the same thing. So this was just to tell you, like, now you can also go ahead and create your matrices using your log groups. Okay, so you can specify, okay, what is the value which it would reach, and then I need to start seeing it on the graph, etc. Okay, so this is still not complete. I'll take up events and I'll continue from here in the next session. Okay, so I'll just quickly revise because today there were certain things which was not working as planned. So I'll just quickly revise so that we are in a sync. Okay, so we studied about CloudWatch matrices and alarms, and we did practical on both the items. For events, we understood on theory what exactly is event. It's like based on certain events in your AWS account. Event could be whether your EC2 instance has launched or terminated or failed, or your certificates have expired. You can perform certain action or you can send certain notification using CloudWatch events. Okay, Then we did a small lab on how we can capture the application log using application log which is generated on your EC2 instance using CloudWatch log. There were like very simple steps, which was like, okay, you need to create a policy, attach it to the role. And then the important part was you have to install this CloudWatch agent and make sure after you have done these configuration changes, which is like updating the region name in AWS CLI, and in AWS logs, you have to create that group wherein you have to specify what is it that you want to capture. Okay. So we told that we want to capture everything which is there in my application.log file. Right now, based on whatever content is there in that application log file, you can create your matrices as well. Or you can search for specific values. For example, you can search for, say, if the log file starts giving you an error message, right? So you can set some alarm, right? So we started the service, and once the service was started, we saw a record in CloudWatch log that, okay, you saw a group name. The name of the group was TTC underscore logs. And under that group name, you saw a record for a instance ID. And we also saw that it was a real time. The moment I was entering anything in the application.log file, it was showing up onto the CloudWatch log group. Okay. Next, now two things which I'll cover from the CloudWatch in the next session, which today I was not able to capture, was events. Like we'll do a hands-on on the event part. And second is I'll take it from here. Like, okay, on what are various alarms, matrices you can create using the value of application.log file. Okay. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jyoti, for this wonderful session. So as Jyoti mentioned, we will continue about the like events related lab, and for this current lab which we did for this logs and other things in the next session. So see you in the next session, and please try to attend live if possible. If not, then you can catch up with the recording. So see you next Saturday. Thank you. Bye bye. Happy weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Faiz. Bye.